Hello and welcome to Paint Basket TV. This week we're going to take a look at your feedback from our first show. We'll be taking a look at what the Vatican has got to do with art. We'll be learning a little bit more about painting with white. And as usual, we'll answer your questions of the week. Then look out for a very special announcement at the end of the show, so stay tuned. For now, let's take a look at the feedback from last week's show. We had some really great feedback. Sarah says, "Congratulations, what a great step forward, bravo." Trudy, "Oh my goodness, how wonderful to have you visited in my house here in George, South Africa. It was great to see and learn at the same time. Thanks a million." Jacqueline says, "Clear, concise, fabulous, thank you." Ian says, "I completely enjoyed what I've just seen. Can't wait for the next show. Will Paint Basket ever come over to us in the UK?" Ian, at the Paint Basket, anything is possible. You never know. We may just invade you guys one of these days. Then, of course, not all our feedback was positive, which is really great because that's going to help us improve the show. Let's take a look at one of the negative comments we had. "In my opinion, the intro is too long. I almost stopped watching 2-3 times while waiting for the show to start." Last week's intro was a longer one because I wanted the Paint Basket TV to start off with a bang. But you know how it goes with us artists. Once those creative juices get rolling, you just can't stop it. This week you've seen our normal intro, which is a lot shorter, so from now on you won't have to wait so long for your Paint Basket fix. Thanks for all the feedback, guys, positive and negative. We appreciate it. Keep it coming. And then, of course, thank you so much for all the likes and the +1s and the shares and all that. We really appreciate you helping us getting the word out there. Now, I think let's go and visit the Vatican. On the Vatican's website, they have this awesome page where you can take a virtual tour of the Sistine Chapel. You can get a full 360-degree view of the chapel by zooming in and out, which lets you take a closer look at all the magnificent artworks on the walls and ceilings. They don't let you walk around though, which is a pity. I suppose they're scared we'll damage their trompe-l'oeil drapery on the walls if we do. The Sistine Chapel was built between 1475 and 1483 and was frescoed by many Renaissance artists, the most famous of them being Michelangelo. It's widely believed that Michelangelo worked on the freshly painted plaster as opposed to painting over dry plaster. I wonder why. If you want to go and have a mooch around the chapel yourself, the link is in the resource box below. Wow, Michelangelo really is an inspiring artist. I'm so glad the Vatican has put that up for us starving artists on this side of the world to go and take a look at. Now, I think it's time for us to take a look at this week's top art tip. Today we're going to be looking at working with white. People always battle when they come to painting white flowers or white walls and things like that. So I'm going to show you the secret today of how to paint white so that it looks nice and alive and not icy cold like a glacier. The secret to working with white is that white reflects the colors around it. I've got a white canvas and some colored cards. Look carefully at the reflection on the canvas below the card. Now look what happens when I change the color of the card. Did you see that? The reflection on the white canvas changed to the same color as the card. Let's try another color and another one. Now let's see what it looks like without a card. Notice how the canvas, even on its own, is not pure white. It's more a grayish tinge, eh? That's because it's reflecting the sky color and all the other colors around it. So when painting white, always remember to reflect the colors around it. Now obviously these cards here were right up against the white, so that reflected color was very intense. When you're painting, say, a cloud or something else that's white out in nature, the distance between the white cloud and the object that it's reflecting would be a lot larger, so that would mean your reflected color would be a lot more subtle. But that doesn't matter, still reflect some colors in it. Our question of the week this week comes from Cal, one of our students that's busy with the Let's Draw pencil drawing course. Cal says, I'm having trouble with my cross-hatching. If anyone can assist me, I would be greatly appreciative. Cal, of course we'll help you, that's what we're here for. So let's go and take a look if we can sort out those cross-hatching problems of yours. In order to sort out your cross-hatching woes, we need to first take a look at the fundamentals of cross-hatching. Let's say I want to hatch this pair. Before I can even start drawing, I need to look out for two things. The first and most important are the tonal values. We need to identify the highlights, midtones, and the shadows in the object. Knowing this is going to tell me how much hatching I'm going to add in each area. Next, I need to find the plane lines in the object. The plane lines follow the shape of the object. Here you can see the plane lines drawn in for our pair. Before I start my drawing, I'll very lightly draw these plane lines in. I'll also draw in the outlines of the highlights and shadow areas. Again, as lightly as possible because I don't want them to be visible in the final drawing. When drawing my pair, I'll cross hatch in the direction of the plane lines, varying the distance between the hatches to get the tonal values correct. Now that we know how, let's take a look at your pairs to see if we can identify where you went wrong. In this drawing, the direction of the plane lines are wrong. If you're cross-hatching a round object, your hatches should either curve to follow the plane lines, or you should use short overlapping strokes that change angle to remain on the plane lines. Here you can see an example where I've curved my hatch lines. And here you can see how I've used short overlapping strokes to change the direction so that they remain on the plane line. On your next drawing, you've almost got it right, so well done there. What you'd need to do here is continue to hatch to fill up a bit more, especially in the shadow areas. Then you can also add a few more hatches where the light, middle and dark tones meet to give you a transition between the tones. I've done a mock-up of your pair to show you what it would look like if you do that. That's a big difference, eh? Good luck finishing up your pair. Please don't forget to post the revised one on the forum. I'd love to see what the result looked like. If you'd also like to learn to draw and you haven't seen our pencil drawing course yet, I've added a link below this video. You can go and take a look at it there. Now let's take a look and see what's happening at the paint basket. On the left hand side of this video, you'll now see a handy little remote control. This remote will soon become your best friend on Paint Basket TV, so I want to show you how it works. You'll use the previous and the next buttons to move from one program to the next, almost like the next and back buttons on a CD player. The green recorded button and the blue live button tell you what type of program you're watching. The recorded button is lit up when you're watching a pre-recorded program like this one. If the blue live button is lit up, then you're currently watching a show that's streaming live. Again, you can click these two buttons to flip between a live broadcast and the pre-recorded shows. We'll chat about that red button in the center in a moment, so let's look at the last button on the remote, this little light blue button. Clicking it will open up a help screen to remind you what each button is for. So there you have it, you have a new remote control in the house. The good news is it can't get lost. The bad news is I can't promise that you're not going to fight over who's going to press the buttons. And now it's time for our special announcement. I want you to bookmark this date, Tuesday the 19th of July, or if you're in New Zealand and Oz, Wednesday the 20th of July, because on this date, Paint Basket TV is going live. We're going to be having our very first online live art class. In the show, we're going to be chatting all about color mixing. We'll be showing you exactly how to mix your colors, and obviously we'll answer your top color mixing questions too, so you wouldn't want to miss out on that. Now the way to do it is, if you're a member of the website, over here on your remote control, click the notify button and we'll email you a reminder that the show is about to start. If you're not a member of the website, there's a green join now button over here. Click on that because you're missing out on a hang of a lot more than just the notify button. In the meantime, what you can do is, in the comments box below the video, ask us your color mixing questions so that we know what to answer. And also leave us your comments about the show. That is unfortunately all for this week. Next week, Dennis is going to be presenting the show, so that should be fun. In the meantime, you have a great week. I'll see you on the forum.
Paint Basket TV!